We've gone over how to use a Bitcoin wallet, and we've gone over a couple of the types of Bitcoin wallets. Unfortunately, though, Bitcoin is still new to most, just like the internet was back in '99, and people are giving away their credit card numbers on fake websites back then. So you still need to be very careful on how you use your Bitcoin and how you use your private keys. Back in December, Bloomberg was doing 12 days of Bitcoin. And on one of the shows, Street Smarts, the host was giving away Bitcoin wallets with $20 loaded up on them. And the wallets, they were paper wallets. They looked just like this. There was a public key, the Bitcoin address, and a private key. And he was giving them around to everybody. And when he gave it to one of the other people on the panel, he opened it up. And he was like, oh, wow, this is my Bitcoin wallet. And of course, we're all new to this. So he turns it around to the screen. And he's like, so that's my account, right? That's my account. Sure enough, somebody at home watching, there's millions of people watching. Somebody freeze frames this image. And of course, it's got his private key. So he freeze framed it and ganked all the Bitcoin, the $20 from his Bitcoin wallet, and sent it to another Bitcoin wallet. So he essentially stole all his money just because the host was showing his Bitcoin, his private key, on the show. And so the reason I'm explaining this to you is so that you don't make this same mistake. This is how easy it is. It's like I'm holding up a sign with the password to my email account, and I don't want anybody to hack into my account. The users of this technology have a little bit to learn on how it works to ensure you don't get your money stolen. So just like people in 1999 were giving away their credit card numbers on fake websites, we are trying to make sure that people don't give away their Bitcoin on a Bloomberg TV show. So there's become this shift in security needs. The rules of how Bitcoin works is different from how our traditional financial system works. So in traditional financial system, we have our pot of gold, our treasure chest sitting in a vault in a bank, and the banks have provided us with debit cards, credit cards, that we can easily take out that money whenever we need to pay for a steak, whenever you need to buy a cappuccino. And the big difference is you have recourse with your credit cards, with your debit cards. If somebody steals my credit card, I can always call up the company, I can always call up Visa and say, hey, I didn't make these transactions. And they'll give you your money back. There's recourse. But with Bitcoin, if someone steals your Bitcoin, there's no recourse. That money is gone. And there's no way of getting that money back. So a lot of people in the Bitcoin space are creating ways to set this all up perfectly so that we're able to have your money sitting in a vault, that can't easily be taken out, but yet you still have some money set aside where you can spend it day to day. And that's where a lot of the shift in the Bitcoin security is coming. So they've separated this concept of a hot wallet, where maybe you have $100 sitting in your hot wallet, and that's easily accessible. Just like you have cash sitting in your wallet. You've gone to the ATM, you have some money to spend day to day. And then there's the savings, your treasure chest, and that's sitting in a secure wallet. And there's a lot of companies right now that are creating these secure wallets where it's very difficult to get the money out. And so they're using tools like two-factor authentication. They're using 2-day delays. So if you want to get that money out, you'll have to wait 2 days, and make sure that so-and-so has actually authorized it. And multi-signature. So multi-sig has been a hot topic in 2013, 2014 in the Bitcoin world. How do we ensure security with people's money, people's Bitcoin? And the way multi-signature works, it's similar to if you have your pot of gold, if you have something sitting in a lockbox, you'll have two keys. One key cannot open the box. Both keys have to open the box. And it's the same thing with Bitcoin. Multi-signature wallets require 2 or 3 signatures, two separate accounts to sign that transaction to have the money go out. And this has been a huge innovation, a huge push in the Bitcoin world recently to ensure the security with people's money. So that's multi-sig technology. And we caught up with Mike Belshie from BitGo, who's leveraging the multi-sig technology to increase security of people's Bitcoin.
So BitGo is the first security services company for Bitcoin. We're trying to make Bitcoin secure for everyone, to build applications, to use, to trust, and just to make it easy for the next generation. Multi-signature is what enables us to protect your Bitcoin on your computer, even though you're facing 24/7 threats from malware and attackers. It's kind of like a joint checking account. Instead of having one signature that's required in order to authorize a check, you might need 2. Another analogy would be a bank vault. You go into a safety deposit box, the banker enters a key, and you enter a key, and those two together are able to unlock your funds. Well, anyone that's got Bitcoins that's interested in securing them should use BitGo, because it is, I think, the most secure multi-signature Bitcoin wallet available today. But more specifically, we're really targeting businesses. We want to make it so that Bitcoin is usable not just for all consumers, which is an important part of the Bitcoin ecosystem, but also for businesses to get in and get involved. The thing which it also adds is the ability to layer on new services on top. So I've been calling this multi, which is you start with multi-sig, and then you get to multi-user, which is where actually that second signature you need to send it to your colleague or your coworker to do an approval of a transaction. But there's a human getting involved there before the signature is applied. Spending limits, there's a number of things you can just apply on top once you've got the multi-sig base. So multi-sig, multi-user, and then the next one is multi-institutional. So we actually have a number of customers that they need to have audits done, right? And they need to have like a whole nother company that's making sure that the principals of this company that's holding this money is spending it appropriately. So they use multi-organizations to approve transactions. Security is going to be something that gets institutionalized. It becomes a professional matter. It's a discipline. It's much like you don't hear of a lot of breaches. There are some thefts of traditional banks, even today, for millions and billions of dollars, but they don't happen that often, and the perpetrators are often caught. That will happen with Bitcoin. It's just that we haven't built the infrastructure yet, and so that's what we're building.
Okay, so that's how you and I, as consumers, can use our Bitcoin day to day and keep it safe through those two strategies, hot wallets and secure wallets. Now, for corporations like Coinbase, for example, they're holding on to your private keys. They're holding on to hundreds of millions of dollars of people's Bitcoin. How do they ensure that your Bitcoin, our Bitcoin, is safe? Well, they use a technology called hot and cold storage. So hot storage is when your Bitcoin is sitting on a computer or a server or something that's connected to the internet. So if it's ever possibly compromised, hackers can log in and somehow they figure out a way to compromise this system, even though it's pretty secure. They can easily steal your Bitcoin. And that's considered hot storage. Now, cold storage is a paper wallet. You have your private key stored on a piece of paper, but it's not connected to the internet. Or you have it sitting on a USB stick, just like this, a USB stick. And you have the private keys. I could essentially hold hundreds of millions of dollars just on this one private key. And the key thing is, it's not connected to the internet. So that would be considered cold storage. And a company like Coinbase, what they do is they break it up. They break it up where about 3% of their Bitcoin that they're holding is in hot storage. So that's money floating, in and out every day that people are using. And then the other 97% of the Bitcoin is sitting on cold storage. And the technique that most of these guys use is they put the Bitcoin, the private keys, stored on multiple USB sticks, and they actually lock it in a bank vault. And, so it's very difficult to get that Bitcoin in and out, but it's definitely impossible. The only way a hacker can go and steal that 97% is break into the bank vault and then figure out where those USB keys are and steal that money. So of course that's much more difficult for hackers to steal. And these are different techniques, these are different ways that people are storing their Bitcoin. One innovation in Bitcoin security, it's actually a hardware wallet, and it's a pretty interesting wallet. All it can really do is hold my private keys. So even if I use this Trezor with an infected computer, with malware, anything, the only thing it can do is use these private keys on it. Nobody can steal the private keys from here. So I'm going to give you a quick demo of how it works. And what I'm going to do is plug it into my computer. And ahead of time, when I set it up, the Trezor actually generates the private keys for me. It generates it on the device itself. As I plug it in, you can see here on the screen, here it's created a wallet. I have a Bitcoin wallet here. And the wallet actually got activated, it got turned on by me plugging in my Trezor. If I actually have some money in my wallet, which I'm going to get right now, I'm going to send some Bitcoin from my Coinbase wallet, and I'll send $1. Great, sending. Okay, so in my Trezor wallet, so Trezor provides me with an online wallet, and here you can see, oh, look at that, I just sent money from Coinbase and instantly it updated with some Bitcoin in Trezor. Now again, the whole point of this hardware wallet is to ensure it's another layer of security. If I want to send money from this Bitcoin wallet, this hardware wallet, this Trezor, is another layer of security to make sure that only I can send money out of this wallet. And so this is actually really neat, is if I want to send money now from my Trezor, let's say I want to send it to this Bitcoin address, which again is the United Way. I'm going to send, how much Bitcoin do I have here? It's about 0.00239. So we go send 00239. Actually, I have to send a little bit more, a little bit less. Okay, send. So right here, you see this part right here? I try to say send, but now it's asking for a current PIN. And do you remember those little keychains you would use to log into VPN networks? You'd always carry them around with you, and they're connected to a satellite, and they randomly, every minute, generate a new number. Well, it's very similar here. With the Trezor, there's actually a number showing here on the Trezor. It's a whole matrix of numbers. And it's given me a pattern of where I should click on these question marks, this whole grid of question marks. Even if I have a keylogger running on my computer right now that's logging every single keyboard button I press, it still can't know what proper number is showing on my Trezor. Okay, so I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so the Trezor has given me the proper code to enter onto my screen here. And if I enter the right code, if it's the right code, now my Trezor is checking. Yep. And it won't actually send the money just yet. The next step I have to do is actually press the button on the Trezor. Press the button to confirm this transaction. And only then will the Trezor, with the private key sitting on it, send the transaction and send that money. So I click confirm and confirm again. And there you go. Now the money is sent. And you see how that's another extra layer of security. And these are new innovations that are being created in this new segment of Bitcoin. Because again, the rules are totally different. The way it all works, the properties of this money are different. So the Trezor is an interesting and a great hardware wallet.